every track has a every track is linked to a job role, and these job roles are very much in demand in the market. So that is how we have picked out the learning tracks, and these tracks can be aligned to the both the tech and non-tech. The students will discuss on that further. Now, coming to the program structure, the program will be executed in 6 phases. Okay, and these are the 6 phases. The first phase is going to be learning phase, where we're going to have the hands-on training as well as the self-paced learning. Then we have a project design phase, where they will be attempting a project use case. So every learning track, we are going to provide 10 business use cases which are across the different business domains. Student as a team, they can pick up any one of the business use case, and they can start working on that business use case. So in phase 2, it is going to be a design phase, where they will convert that problem statement into a proper a solution, and they will create a necessary solution relevant document in the design. They will build a code, they will integrate different technologies, and they will deploy that solution on various cloud platforms. So that will be happening in the project development phase. Then the next phase is going to be assessment and project evaluation. We're going to organize assessments for them, and at the end of the project development, there is going to be a grand assessment, and we're going to have a project evaluation. We'll discuss in detail on that part. Then we have interview preparation phase, where we also organize some of the programs relevant to technical interview preparation and the HR interview preparation. Then we have career development phase, where we help students to build their profile and personal branding, as well as we also help them build their skills on productivity tools. So you can look at the number of hours allocated. As I mentioned, it's a 240 hours of learning engagement for the entire semester. We have in learning phase, we have hands-on training for 60 hours, and self-paced learning for 40 hours. So this is going to be a live virtual instructor-led training. There will be a live training provided to the students based on the technology track they choose. 60 hours of training will be provided in a hands-on mode. And parallelly, they will also complete a self-paced learning program, where they will complete certain learning modules on the partners portal. If you take example of Google, Google has certain learning content. Student has to enroll into the Google learning content, and they have to complete courses on Google, the LMS. Likewise, Salesforce and other companies. Okay. So total 100 hours of learning, whereas 60 hours it is a virtual instructor-led training, and 40 hours it's a self-paced learning program, and this will happen parallelly. Now coming to the next phase, project design phase. So in project design phase, as I mentioned, for every technology track, we are going to have 10 business use cases. They have to choose any one of the business use case, and that business use case need to be converted into a proper the solution documentation. Okay, so that will happen in the design phase, where we provide them training on converting that idea into the prototype. So what is the process to be followed to convert idea into a prototype? That will be trained to them during the design phase. So they will get 10 hours of agile development methodologies training, as well as design thinking training. And after that, there will be 30 hours where they need to spend time on ideation, brainstorming, requirement analysis, creating a solution architecture for their the idea, and creating a technology architecture. And so there is a certain process followed in the software development life cycle. The same the process will be followed here, starting from their ideation to creation of the technology architecture. Okay, so there will be training for every concept which is followed in the software development life cycle here. Then they will be trained on project planning. Okay, so here they will be get introduced to some of the industry tools, like project planning tools like Jira kind of tools. So once they come up with a solution, how to develop that into a proper product. For that, there is a planning required. they will have to follow the agile methodologies to create the project planner. So we will train them how to create the project planner, how to create the user stories on Jira platform. So those things will be covered in the project planning session. So by the end of the project design phase, they will be ready with their solution, the architecture, as well as they will have entire planner for their project. Okay. Now the third phase is going to be project development phase, where they will develop the code for each and every sprint they deliver during the program. They will create a proper solutioning, and they deliver the project in a agile process and a minimum viable product concept. So we cover MVP concepts over here, so that the entire project will be developed and deployed on the cloud also, if necessary, okay, according to the technology track what they choose. So 40 hours they need to spend on development, and the most important thing is the documentation and demonstration to develop their the verbal as well as written communication skills. They have to prepare a project documentation, as well as they have to create a project demonstration video. And we also help them in preparing the documentation as per the industry standard. So they have to create a proper software requirement specification document. They have to create a DFDs. So in a industry, how the documentation is done for the project, the same process is going to be covered here, so that when they get into the industry, they don't see that as a new thing. Okay, we covering those concepts as part of this the phase. So put together, they need to spend almost like 80 to 90, 100 hours in project development phase. Okay. Then we organize assessment and the project evaluation. In assessment, there will be a grand assessment. It's a MCQ based assessment for all the individual learners. So, and we also have project evaluation. So once the project is submitted, our industry evaluators will evaluate the project based on certain metrics. I'll discuss in detail on the metrics, and we generate a score for the each project team. Okay. So put together the score of the grand assessment and the project evaluation, we generate the final score for the project team and individual student. Once they finish this activity, then we have interview preparation phase, where we have going to have a dedicated sessions on technical interview preparation specific to the learning track. So for every learning track, there is a dedicated technical interview preparation session. So most like any technology, if you take, there will be a frequently asked questions when they attempt the technical interview. So we cover up those the interview questions and give the best answers. We educate the learners on how to face the technical interviews during this session. And we also organize HR interview preparation session, where we cover up the most important HR specific questions and how to answer, what is the way, and how to boost their confidence. Those things will be covered during the interview preparation phase. Then the last phase is the career development phase, where we cover up on the concepts like profile building. How can they build their profile, and what is a career journey? Okay, how to climb on the ladder when they get into the company. So what are the basic etiquettes to be followed for sending emails, interacting with the recruiters and other things. So those things will be covered during the career development phase, and we help them create their personal branding. Okay, so how to prepare CV, how to prepare their LinkedIn profile, how to communicate with different people. So those things will be covered up in the profile building and personal branding session. And this is one of the important module, productivity tools. So we also cover up certain productivity tools which are very important irrespective of the career what they choose. These tools will help them build their career. So we cover up certain productivity tools as part of the career development phase. So total 240 hours of learning engagement, which is going to be a project-based learning engagement, because most of the time they will be spending on developing the project from the scratch, including from ideation phase to the proper deployment phase. We cover up actual industry standard methodology for the project development. We introduce them proper software development cycle, life cycle, and they will also get introduced to the best tools available in the industry for project planning, project development, project deployment, documentation and demonstration. Okay. And they will get a good insights on technical interview and HR interview preparation. So this is how the program is going to be handled in 6 phases. I'll move on to the next. I think the same thing. Yeah. Now, in terms of timeline, okay, so we have worked out 16 weeks timeline for executing this program. Every week there is a engagement based on the program structure, what we have discussed. That we have to execute those 6 phases as part of 16 weeks. Now, in week 1 to week 6, there is a hands-on training. Every day there will be 2 hours of live instructor-led training. For every track, there will be a separate Zoom link provided to the learners. They have to join as per the calendar. Once they get access to the platform, they can look at the calendar directly on our platform, along with daily joining links for each session. And entire schedule will be made available on the platform. They have to just log into their student login and follow the calendar written over there. So week 1 to week 6, we're gonna organize 2 hours a day hands-on training, Monday to Friday. So total 5 days, 5 into 2, 10 hours every day for 6 weeks. Okay, so total 60 hours of hands-on training. And parallelly, they have to complete the self-learning on the partners portal. So 2 hours hands-on training followed by 2 hours kind of self-learning on the partner portal. So every week they have to spend around 20 hours. So that way we cover up the hands-on training as well as the self-learning, total of 100 hours. And as I mentioned, in week 5 and week 6, there will be training on agile development methodologies and the knowledge sessions. Excuse me, let me clear the annotation. Okay. Change the setting 1 minute. Yeah, thank you. So in week 5 and week 6, there will be 2 hours a day sessions on knowledge. We call it as knowledge sessions, where we provide the training on design thinking, ideation, and other processes, so that they will get to know before getting started with the project. They will be prepared with this development methodologies. And from week 7 to week 12, we organize project work sessions. So every day, student has to spend 3 hours on project development. This is a minimum number of hours based on the 240 hours engagement, but they can also spend more based on their availability of labs and other things. So minimum 3 hours a day they have to spend on project work. And to support the students during the project development, we organize AMA sessions. AMA means Ask Me Anything sessions, live sessions from the mentors. Every day, 1 hour live session will be organized. Students can join these live sessions, and if they have any queries during the project development, they can resolve those queries through AMA sessions. Okay, and apart from these AMA sessions, we have a dedicated communication channel on our platform where they can join those communication channel and clarify the queries throughout the day. Okay, so that communication channel will be accessible for them during the working hours. If they have any query, they can immediately post their queries on the communication channel and get answered. But these AMA sessions are the dedicated live sessions. They want to have a proper interaction with the mentor. They can join this 1 hour sessions and clarify their queries. So this way, the entire week 7 to week 12, they have to complete the project work starting from their ideation to the final solution deployment and documentation and demonstration. Now, week 13 and 14, we cover interview preparation, 1 hour a day, so 5 hours a week. So where they will be given training on technical interview preparation as well as HR interview preparation. And week 15 and 16, we have a career development session for 1 hour a day, where they will be getting introduced to the profile building, personal branding, and the productivity tools test session. So this way, week 1 to week 16, the learners will be engaged for 240 hours. They will be learning the technology via hands-on training, as well as they will be completing certain industry courses through self-learning, and they will be working on the project as a team during the project development weeks. And at any time, if they have any query, the mentors will be available for them through the chat communication as well as AMA sessions. They can clarify their queries during entire the flow of week 1 to week 16. Okay, so this is the project timeline which we are going to follow for this entire engagement. So I'll move on to the next. Yep. So as I mentioned, this particular program is a project-based learning program because initially I have mentioned we need to build the professional competencies and technical competencies in the students so that they will become job ready. Okay, so to build professional and technical competencies in the students, it is possible only if they are engaged on business use case development or project development. So that's why the project is a key component of this particular entire engagement. So we are providing 10 use cases for learning tracks. So every learning track out of those 11, 12 learning tracks, there will be 10 use cases, which are across different business domains. So we'll have use cases from healthcare, finance, transportation, retail, agriculture, energy, public services, fashion industry, food industry, public safety, education, manufacturing, supply chain. So there are more than 16 plus industries from where we pick up the use cases. And those use cases will be given in the form of problem statements to the learners, along with certain the references or the resources so that they can take up any of the use case as part of the project development activity. Okay. So student as a team of 4 members or three to four members, they can pick up any one of the use case based on the learning track what they choose. And that use case need to be developed into proposed solution by following phase-wise development. Okay, so the project development will happen in phase-wise. As I mentioned earlier, there will be design phase as well as the development phase. But further, that can be divided into multiple uh, phases like brainstorming and idea. So they have to first take up the use case, then they have to brainstorming among the team members along with the faculty mentor and create ideation template and finally come up with a list of ideas where we can solve that particular the problem statement. They have to do requirement analysis. They have to gather the necessary resources, understand the requirement of that particular solution, list down the requirements as per the industry standard templates. For every phase, there will be standard templates which are used in the industry. We will introduce those standard templates to the learners during this engagement. And the project design phase where they need to create uh, the solution architecture, technical architecture. They have to develop the data flow diagrams in case of software development. They have to work on actual documentation which is followed in the industry. Okay, so project design. Then they have to plan the project development. Okay, for project planning, we introduce them agile methodologies, as I already mentioned. So they have to create a project planner, development planner. Okay, I have a 6 weeks of time. How these 6 weeks of time can be divided into different sprints. Okay, for every week, what is the output I have to give? And they have to include the concepts of minimum viable features or minimum viable products into the concept of project planning. So that will be dedicated to, and they will be working on project planner during this. So likewise, the project development, and they will also perform functional and performance testing. And we have a sessions on how to perform a testing of the solution, what they have built. Either it is a functional testing or performance testing that will be explained to the students during our session. So the project development activity is one of the key aspect of this entire program. That's why majority of time, if you see, more than 80 hours. Of course, so some projects may need further up to 100 hours. So 100 hours of time is provided for the project development activity because the project need to be developed in a stepwise fashion. And while working on each and every phase of the project, there is a deliverable, like in brainstorming and ideation, they have to submit ideation template. They have to submit the brainstorming template. In requirement analysis, they have to create certain documents and they have to submit those documents. In project design, they have to submit solution architecture. They have to submit technical architecture. They have to submit DFD diagrams. So there are certain deliverables for each phase. They have to submit all those documentation as part of entire engagement. And in project planning, they have to work on Jira tool. In the Jira tool, they have to create a project planner. They have to assign the activities to individual team members. So that need to be created on a Jira software, and they have to submit the documentation specific to the project planner. In project development, they have to submit the entire the coding files, their necessary packages, and all those things. They will be trained on how to use the GitHub during this the program. So they have to submit entire project on GitHub so that it will be accessed by the project faculty mentors and industry mentors and evaluators. So for every phase, there are certain deliverables. They have to submit those documents and the necessary deliverables in GitHub, and those documents will be reviewed by the industry mentors, and they will give feedback to the students with the modification and the further enhancement.
ఇదిగో ఇందాక కుర్రోడికి ఇచ్చాను ఇదిగో ఇలా రాసాడు ఇదిగో ఇది
I'm sorry,
ఇది సార్
Sanjay,
దీన్ని ఏం
can you
చేయమంటారు
make me host? Thank you.
దీన్ని ఏం చేయాలి మీరు చెప్పండి
Yeah. Thank you. So this is going to be one of the best activity. While they work on these activities, they build their team skills, they build their leadership qualities, because one of the team members is going to act as a team lead to work on this particular program. They build their critical thinking and problem solving capabilities, because it involves ideation, brainstorming, analysis. They develop their skills on researching the requirement analysis.
ఎలా
They
సాక్ష్యం
build their skills in agile planning, and they build their skills in teamwork.
ఎనీ క్వశ్చన్ ఎనీ
So
లైన్
that's why I mentioned in the beginning of this presentation, the program objective is to build their competencies, the professional competencies, as well as the technical competencies. The while they're working on this project, they also develop their technical competencies, because
దానికి ఏమన్నా
they have to develop the solution for the project. So to develop the solution, they should know various technology aspects. They should understand various APIs. They should work on various technology packages. They have to code it, develop it. So that will help them build their the coding skills, solutioning skills, as well as even at the end, they have to present a documentation which is as per the industry standard, that will help them build their the written and verbal communication skills. They have to deliver a very detailed project demonstration that will help them build their presentation skill sets. Okay, so we are ensuring that each and every competency listed in the earlier slide, the professional competencies and technical competencies, will be developed as part of this entire project engagement. Okay, so and
అలాగా నీకు ఇచ్చిన నెంబర్
the use cases what we are going to pick up, these use cases are very real world use cases which are relevant to the current industry, and these use cases have been submitted to the respective partner. They have verified it and validated these use cases for the project based learning. Moving on,
రే పంపల కట్ కుర్చీ లోపలికి ఎట్టిస్తావంటరా పిచ్చనా కొడకల్లారా
as I mentioned, this program can become successful only if we have a proper mentoring for the learners. Mentoring can happen in both the ways. One is faculty mentoring on the campus, as well as the industry mentoring support from our side. So to make this program successful and to give a lot of benefits to the students, we have ensured that the mentoring is provided in multiple channels. So we have a Rocket Chat application on our platform. It's a collaboration tool where students can join based on their learning track and project what they choose. And we have mentors there, so they can have an interaction directly with the mentors via chat application. It's a mobile application. They can download and install in their mobiles and join the project channel specific to that learning track. And they can reach out to the mentor through the chat application. And this will be available from the morning 9 a.m. to evening 6 p.m., where mentors will be available to answer their queries. Because while working on the project, there will be a lot of queries coming in from the students. So this
Okay,
can
right.
be taken care by the mentors who are there in the project channels. So this is one way of addressing the queries of the learners. The second, the mentoring channel is going to be live AMA
బ్రేక్
sessions.
బ్రేక్ కి బ్రేక్
This we're going to organize live AMA sessions, specific
లెక్కల ముందు కలపమంటే కలపలేదురా
technology track or learning track. We're going to have AMA sessions. I think I have discussed this already. This is also a forum where students can directly join this live AMA sessions
ఆడికి పూర్వం
and ask their queries to the mentors and clarify the queries.
డైరెక్ట్
Then we have support email option where if the students are having any query specific to the platform, the process of entire development, and if they are facing any issue in uploading the documents, submitting the deliverables, or any other queries, they can write a support email. This will be addressed via our support team. Even for the faculty also, we're going to organize live AMA sessions because on the ground, you are the people who would be handling entire program. We would like to have an exclusive AMA session, Ask Me Anything sessions for the faculty and the process and other aspects. So faculty can also join these AMA sessions to clarify their queries while the program is under execution. Okay. So to make this the mentoring activity even better, so all the colleges shall onboard faculty mentors to monitor the status of the program and support the learners for technical and process relevant queries. So on the ground, faculty mentors are going to help us with the entire execution. Then we also involve industry mentors from our side to support the students in their development activity. So what I mean to say is like we have experienced this. If we have a proper handholding of students while they're undergoing this 240 hours of learning engagement, we can see a better outcome out of this program. So that's why we are ensuring that every channel, what I have mentioned here, will have a proper accessibility, and the mentors can resolve the queries of the learners in a real time. Okay. So this will help the students to complete their learning as well as the project development activity. Moving on, this is again another important aspect because at the end of the program, we need to submit the evaluation score for the each individual. So we're going to organize a grand assessment at the end of the program, which is technical assessment for 30 marks. So out of 100 marks, we have divided 30 marks for the assessment and 70 marks for the project evaluation. So technical assessment is going to be a MCQ based assessment based on the learning track what they have chose. There will be 30 questions and 60 minutes will be given. So this will be a live online examination which will be organized for them. So this is for the individual students. So technical assessment is going to be taken up by the individual student. And as a team, whatever project they submit, the project will be evaluated based on the 6 metrics. Okay. So we have a ideation and brainstorming metric because students need to submit their ideas, ideation template, and other documentation. So based on the document what they submit, our evaluators will evaluate those documents and they will give a scoring. Okay. So we have 10 marks allocated for ideation, 10 marks allocated for requirement analysis. Project design is important because 20 marks are allocated for project design, where the evaluators will review the technical architecture, solution architecture, and all other the software development documentation submitted by the students. Then for project development, the coding, solutioning, utilization of APIs, deployment, so that will be again an important activity. So 20 marks are provided for that activity. Then they need to submit a detailed project report at the end of the program. For that, we have 5 marks. And for project demonstration video, it will be reviewed by the evaluators, and for that we have 5 marks. So total 70 marks allocated for the project, and this is going to be a team-based scoring. So here we have individual scoring, 30 marks, and this is the team-based scoring. So based on this, we generate score for each and every team as well as individual student, and the score will be available for the faculty in their faculty logins on the platform. Okay, so this is the final scorecard which will be generated for the each individual as well as each team. Okay. Now, how do we handle this entire process? Because it involves a lot of training, it involves project development activity, it involves project mentoring, evaluation. There's a proper schedule provided for this. So to handle this entire 16 weeks of engagement, we have a platform Smart Interns, a dedicated instance for AppSheet is going to be made live. And in that platform, we're going to have logins to AppSheet. AppSheet can see the entire status of the program through the dashboard. And every faculty will get a login. And the students from their respective colleges will be accessible by the faculty mentor. So in the faculty mentor login, you can see how many students have logged onboarded from your college, how many projects they have chosen, how many project teams are there, what is the current status of the project. You can also access the deliverables submitted by the project in every phase of the program. Everything is accessible for the faculty mentor from their dashboard. Okay, so then we have student login where students can access this entire calendar, training calendar. There is no need to look at the emails. Every link, every day session link will be made available in their dashboard. And once they enroll for the project, they can access a project template on our platform. Like this, there is a project template on our platform. We provide certain references for each and every activity of the project. So they can take this template as a reference for them and work on their own ideation and their own innovative ideas to work for the solution. Okay, and they get access to the workspace. We call it as a collaborative workspace where they get they have to collaborate with the GitHub. They have to develop the project documentation. They have to upload their demonstration video. They can see overall status of the project. They can assign the activities among themselves, and they can as a team lead, you can see like what is the status of a completion of activity by individual student and what is the overall progress of the project that can be monitored from entire the dashboard. And they can also chat with mentor. There is an option on the platform. Directly they can join into the chat application from the platform also. So every stakeholder like faculty mentor, student, AppSheet, the coordinators, and we have industry mentors and industry evaluators. So they will get access to the work done on projects by the student teams. Okay, so we have a team-based project enrollment access. So from here they can navigate to the self-learning courses on partner portal. They have a collaborative environment where they can join as a team. They have a project tracker also, like all the activities of the project can be divided into individual activity milestones and other thing like they can follow the project management methodologies. They can also see comments from mentors. So mentors, after reviewing the deliverables, they will share their comments on the platform. They can access those comments and modify their the project work. We have GitHub integration on the platform. We have a guided project for the reference. We can monitor team lead activities, activity assignment tracker, and they can also access recorded videos. If at all they miss out the live instructor-led training sessions, we provide those recorded sessions also on the student dashboard so that they can refer back those videos. So that they don't miss out any training sessions. Okay, and so it's a very unique platform. We have run such a program with more than 2 lakh students concurrently. So there won't be any issue with the platform to handle such a huge crowd. We have done this activity last year with different partners. So this is our capability in terms of platform and handling entire programs. So, and we have a multiple support system to help students in completing this entire program. Now coming to the benefits to the faculty, because this program will be successful only faculty take this as a serious initiative. and support the students on the ground on the campus. So to help faculty and to enable the faculty with multiple the technologies as well as the methodologies as well as the process, we organize a 5 day boot camp for the faculty, but these 5 days can be split across different weeks. So total of 10 hours of sessions will be organized to the faculty. We take up a session on agile development methodology powered by Jira. We train you on agile development methodology, sprint-based delivery. We introduce you to Jira kind of tools,
Right.
which is generally followed in industry. Then we have a training session on design thinking, and we introduce you to Google's design sprint methodology as part of design thinking session. This is another one session which is important for the project development, ideation to the prototyping. Then we're going to have a session on project evaluation methodology and templates. So for every phase of project, there are certain deliverables need to be submitted. There is a evaluation metrics are there. So we will also train you on evaluation metrics and the templates which are followed in project development, so that you can mentor the students on the ground to prepare the deliverables for the project. And there will be a dedicated session on GitHub, where how to use the GitHub, how to manage the version control. So because entire project will be deployed on GitHub for the review of industry mentors and evaluators. So faculty should also have a hands-on with the GitHub, and because faculty mentor is going to be collaborated with the project also. And we also introduce a lot of productivity tools which are used in the industry, like we have Mural, then we have various productivity tools, especially in the software development. So we introduce those productivity tools to the faculty so that they can train or they can pass on that to the students who are working on projects. Not only the learning and training, we also have awards, recognitions. So for top 25 faculty will be recognized and rewarded for their efforts in driving this initiative on the campus. So we would like to recognize and reward the faculty who put efforts in driving this initiative on the campus for successful completions and more number of student completions. So there's going to be a success meet at the end of this program where we would like to invite all the faculty who are top 25 and recognize them with the rewards and awards. Okay. Now coming to the benefits to the students. So this program has a lot of benefits, and the most important thing is they will become job ready specific to a job role. That is one of the important thing, and which will help them to get the opportunities in the industry. So total of 240 hours of job readiness program in project-based learning mode, which helps them prepare for a particular job role. They develop skills in latest technologies relevant to the in-demand job roles. They acquire skill badges to build the profile. Some of the technology partners, they provide courses. Every course has certain skill badges. If they acquire the skill badges, their profile will become stronger when they attempt the interview. And they work on the real world use case to develop technical and professional skills. This is one of the important benefit to the student because no other program, no other training program can provide these skills, because this program is a project-based program, and every step of the project has certain skills linked to it, and they're working on the real world use cases. So this help them build technical and professional skills, and which are very important for the career. And hands-on with industry standard tools. The training is going to be hands-on. They're going to work on the latest standard tools followed in the industry for the technology development. And they also learn productivity tools, which is very important. No other program can provide training on productivity tools used in the industry. But since we have a good 240 hours of engagement, there will be a lot of productivity tools introduced to the students. They gain knowledge on agile planning and design thinking, very much needed for the tech developers or the people who are getting into the industry. Generally, these trainings will be provided in the company, but we are including this agile planning and design thinking at the academia level so that they build their innovation mindset and a proper project, the methodologies they follow at the academia level itself. And they get virtual internship completion certificate along with assessment score. And the certificate is going to be a co-branded certificate with industry partner and AppShape. So this is going to be one of the valuable certificate because it's a 240 hours of engagement with the project development, the multiple technologies learned. So whatever they learned as part of this engagement also will be associated with the virtual internship completion certificate and along with the score also. And they also have a link to the GitHub where they have deployed their project, and that can also be added together to make it as a very strong credential for the learner to get into the career. So get prepared for the technical interviews. This is very important because even after doing the project and technology, sometimes they fail in technical interviews. So we ensure that every technology track or every learning track what they enroll, we're going to have a dedicated technical interview preparation sessions for them, as well as the HR interview preparation sessions, so that at least we help them build the confidence so that they can present their projects in a better way in front of the technical interviewer. Okay. Now they learn personal branding and skill profile. This is very important. Most of the students lack this skill set because even if they have a lot of things they have developed and they have done, but sometimes they don't brand it properly, because when they present themselves in front of interviewer, the branding, personal branding is very important. They have to explain what they did in a better way. So we have a dedicated session on personal branding and profile building. So this will help them to present themselves confidently in front of the interviewer, either it is technical interview or HR interview. This help them boost their confidence levels. Okay. And we're going to organize a career fair at the end of this program, where we are going to invite the various companies to look at the profiles of the students and hide the talent from this particular cohort. And the successful students, I would say, like students who complete this entire program with the proper validated outputs, especially the project, they will get access to the career fair. Again, we're going to invite top companies as well as medium level companies, and even the startups are going to be part of this career fair. And as I mentioned, the job roles which we have mentioned, they are all in-demand job roles in the market. So we're going to have the career fair at the end of the program to support the students to get employment opportunities. So these are the benefits. I can the best the pack for the students with entire thing. No other. So I request all the faculty who are attending this particular program to educate your students, because this is one of the best programs in Tamil Nadu. This has been delivered through Tamil Nadu Skill Development. They have mandated this program as part of the curriculum, and 50,000 students have gone through this entire journey. And this program has been very successful. There is a lot of testimonials from the students, faculty, and the university. Okay. So, and it has helped a lot of students in acquiring jobs, and it has helped a lot of students in their campus placements. So that's all from now. This is the overall structure. Just to summarize once again, I'll just show one slide. So it's a 240 hours of engagement, which includes 60 hours of instructor-led training, 40 hours of self-paced learning content on partner portals, then 80 to 100 hours of project design and development, which is one of the unique feature of this program. We train them on productivity tools. We have career development courses. We also have interview preparation and the both and HR interview preparation. So it is open for the Q&A. If you have any query, you can either ask directly or you can post your questions in the chat. Let me
కింద బుక్ ఉన్నది.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon, sir.
Sir, this is
Very good
Sharma
afternoon, sir.
calling from B.S. Lakshmi Women's College, Kakinada.
Yes.
Sir, how the faculties can have their credentials to enter into the dashboard when the program will start, and how to register the students?
I think APSHI has already circulated.
Hello.
Hello, sir. 1 minute. Yeah. APSHI has already circulated the links to the individual colleges and Gmail. Students need to enroll into APSHI portal first, specific to the learning track.
Hello. Amar sir.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Let us skip this question, sir. I will answer it
Yes,
at
Dinesh.
the end.
Please.
You can go for the next question, sir.
Yeah, I'm done with the technical presentation, the program presentation. We can take up the queries if needed, specific to the program.
Sir, when the program will start, sir?
10 నిమిషాలు సార్ ఒక 2 నిమిషాలు.
Mr. Dinesh,
Sir, excuse me.
asking for the program timelines.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
సార్ ఇందాక అడిగారు కదా ఈ రిజిస్ట్రేషన్స్ ఎలా జరుగుతున్నాయని. మనకి ఏదైతే ఐఐసి పోర్టల్లో ఉందో ఐఐసి పోర్టల్లో ఈ 12 రోల్స్ పెడతామైంది సార్. స్టూడెంట్ ఐఐసి పోర్టల్లో ప్రొఫైల్ వెరిఫై చేసుకొని ఈ 12 రోల్స్ లో ఏ రోల్స్ కి ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉందో ఫస్ట్ ఆ రోల్స్ అప్లై చేసుకోమానండి. వన్స్ ఈ అప్లికేషన్ విండో అనేది ఇట్ మే బి క్లోజ్ బై ఈ పోర్టల్ 2 days డౌన్ ఉంది కాబట్టి యాక్చువల్గా 15th క్లోజ్ అవ్వాల్సిన అప్లికేషన్ విండో ఇట్ మే బి ఎక్స్టెండెడ్ ఫర్ 2 to 3 days అండి. 18th లో ఎప్పుడు అప్లికేషన్ విండో క్లోజ్ అయిపోతుంది. అప్లికేషన్ విండో క్లోజ్ అయిపోగానే ఇంకా స్టూడెంట్ అప్లై చేయడం ఉండదు. అప్లికేషన్ విండో క్లోజ్ అయిపోగానే ఏదైతే కాలేజ్ నోడల్ ఆఫీసర్ ఉన్నాడో ఆ కాలేజ్ నోడల్ ఆఫీసర్ లాగిన్ లో మీరు 5th సెమ్ ఎలాగైతే మ్యాప్ చేశారో అలాగే సేమ్ ఉండి డ్రాప్ డౌన్ లో కంపెనీస్ వస్తాయి. ఆ కంపెనీస్ ఏమేంటంటే ఆ స్టూడెంట్ ఐఐసి పోర్టల్లో ఏమేమి కంపెనీస్ కి రోల్స్ కి అప్లై చేశాడో ప్రతి స్టూడెంట్ కి రెస్పెక్టివ్ కాలమ్స్ లో ఆ రోల్స్ కనిపిస్తాయి. స్టూడెంట్ లెట్స్ సే దట్ ఇప్పుడు స్టూడెంట్ ఒక 4-5 రోల్స్ కి అప్లై చేస్తే కాలేజ్ రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ ఏంటంటే స్టూడెంట్ ని మానిటర్ స్టూడెంట్ ని గైడ్ చేసి తనకి ఏదైతే రోల్ ఫిట్ అవుతుందో చూసి ఆ ఎగ్జాక్ట్ గా ఆ రోల్ మ్యాప్ చేయవలసి ఉంటుంది. సో దిస్ ఇస్ హౌ అండి స్టూడెంట్స్ ఎలా అప్లై చేయాలి మ్యాపింగ్ ఇదంతా ఉంటుంది. సో మీరు అడిగారు కదా కాలేజ్ పాస్వర్డ్స్ ఎలా వస్తాయి, వీ విల్ టేక్ కేర్ ఆఫ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ అండి. డైరెక్ట్ గా ఇప్పుడు ఎల్ఎంఎస్ పోర్టల్లో ఎవరైతే యూజర్ నేమ్ ఉన్నారో మేబీ ఆ సేమ్ యూజర్ నేమ్స్ కి జనరేట్ చేసే సేమ్ ఈమెయిల్స్ కి ఐ విల్ షేర్ టు ద స్మార్ట్ బ్రిడ్జ్. ఇట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు ద సేమ్ యూజర్ నేమ్. ఏదో కామన్ పాస్వర్డ్ పెడతాం. సో లేటర్ యూ కెన్ రీసెట్ ద పాస్వర్డ్ అండి.
Yep. And just to add one more thing.
Program will start, sir.
We are expecting last week of this month, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Again, it
Sir.
is 16 weeks.
Sir, this is Madhavi, Balesi Junior College, Hindupur, sir. Hello.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
please go ahead, ma'am.
Sir, how much pays a student, each student?
That's what, ma'am. Smart Bridge is costing 1250 rupees and 500 is bearing by the ACHE and student need to pay 750 rupees.
Okay, sir.
So what is the process of payment process? How to
That's what, sir. We will inform everything, sir. Let students register on the portal and let colleges map one internship every students. So based on that, let's take an example, government degree college Kuppam. If 90 students have if faculty has applied for the 90 students on the government degree college portal for the smart interns program, then the invoice is generated to be the college. Once again, anyhow, our nodal officers will cross check with you. మీకు ఫోన్ చేసి మాట్లాడతారు సార్ ఏంటి 70 members అప్లై చేశారు కదా 70 members కి పేమెంట్ జనరేట్ చేయమంటారా ఎవరైనా క్యాన్సిల్ చేయమంటారని. మీరు ఎవరినైతే క్యాన్సిల్ చేయమన్నారో వాళ్ళని క్యాన్సిల్ ఒక నలుగురు మీరు ఐడీస్ ఏదో ఒకటి చెప్తారు ఆ నలుగురిని క్యాన్సిల్ చేయమంటారు. ఆ మిగతా 66 members కి మీ కాలేజ్ మీరు ఏదో ఒక డీటెయిల్ మీ కాలేజ్ కి ఇన్వాయిస్ జనరేట్ చేసి స్మార్ట్ ఇంటెన్స్ వాళ్ళు పంపుతారు. మీరు పేమెంట్ చేయగానే ఆ 66 మందికి ప్రొఫైల్స్ లాగిన్ యాక్టివేట్ అయిపోతుంది.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
కాలేజ్
sir,
బేస్డ్ పేమెంట్
Rajkumar
అండి.
here.
స్టూడెంట్ ని ఈ ఇంటర్న్షిప్ కే కాదు, ఈ యాప్ చేస్తున్న ఏ ఇంటర్న్షిప్ లో కూడా స్టూడెంట్ డబ్బులు కట్టే ప్రోగ్రామ్ లేదు. ఇట్స్ నాట్ రైట్ టు సపోజ్ టు కలెక్ట్ ద మనీ ఇన్ కేస్ కాలేజ్ మే కలెక్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ స్టూడెంట్ అండ్ పే. కానీ స్టూడెంట్స్ కి చెప్పండి, ఏ ఫ్రాడ్ లింక్ కి పోయి డబ్బులు పే చేసి మెనీ ఫ్రాడ్స్ ఇలా ఫ్రాడ్ లింక్స్ జనరేట్ చేస్తున్నారు. స్టూడెంట్ ఇంటర్న్షిప్ అని పేమెంట్స్ అని గవర్నమెంట్ నుంచి వస్తున్నాయని ఎక్కడా కూడా పేమెంట్ చేయొద్దని చెప్పండి. మేము యాప్ అయితే ఓన్లీ పేమెంట్ కాలేజెస్ జనరేట్ చేస్తుంది. స్టూడెంట్ దగ్గర కలెక్ట్ చేసి కడతారా, కాలేజెస్ కడతారా, ఇట్స్ అప్ టు ద కాలేజెస్ అండి.
Hello sir, this is
Hello, sir,
Hanumantrao
this is
sir.
Rajkumar. I am
Hello,
from
sir.
Aditya Degree and PG College, Kurumbadan. We
Yeah,
have BBA students. sir.
Aditya Degree College, please.
Yes, sir. We have BBA students. They're absolutely from non-technical background. So apart
That's
from
what, sir.
Salesforce
Sir,
administration course,
sir,
what are the other
it's the question which is related to only AppShare and user. We will discuss in a separate meeting and support session. Let's
Right,
restrict if any questions related to the Smart Intent, sir. This program. If you have any questions or doubts,
Faculty training, when will you start, sir?
faculty training, I think it's going to be start from the next week, sir.
Please conduct in the next.
Hands-on training is going to be starting next.
Hello sir, this is Hanumantrao sir.
Yeah, please, sir.
Sir, for BTech students also the registration is going to be ended by 18, sir.
For BTech registrations, the registration is going to be start in a couple of days. And for BTech program, it's going to be the 850 cost. They are providing both short-term and long-term internships. See, now student has completed the third year. Student can take the 6-week short-term internship, and if he's interested, he can go for the 7th semester, and he can come back to the Smart Interns, and again he can take the long-term internship. So they will provide both short-term and long-term internship in the same track. It's going to be cost 850 for the student.
Okay sir. Sir,
That's what, sir. The opportunity will be posted for the JNTUs or else affiliated degree colleges. From 15th onwards, students can start choosing their internships on the LMS portal, and engineering students can start choosing apply for the various internship programs.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. This is Ramchandra from Samhita Degree College.
Sir.
Rajahmundry. Sir, I have a query. Actually, you said that the faculty member is play as a role for the mentor. For sir, for each mentor, how many members of students can be allowed?
It's up to you, sir. We actually is already recommended in many manuals. It's 1 to 30 ratio, 1 to 20 ratio. It's completely up to flexible. If your college had registered for 10 mentors, we are ready to train the 10 mentors, and not an issue. It's up to you. If you want to make 1 to 5 ratio, 1 to 1 ratio, 1 to 30 ratio, it's completely up to you, sir. But we are ready to train n number of mentors from your college.
So generally the standard is 1 to 30.
Sir,
Yeah.
Sir, for every session for the student, the faculty is also be mandatory to attend the sessions.
It's not a mandatory, but we are recommending to have. See, if you have at least 5 mentors from your college, at least it's better one mentor to attend the session, sir, because anyhow they are not going to have the classwork. Because if students the doubt something happened in the class, at least you should know what matter faculty virtually, right? So we are recommending mentor also to join at session so that they can answer the queries where students are having, and it's better. Though in this case, you can join the Ask Me any session, and you can ask the doubts behalf upon the students. So can't allow students to ask me any sessions because the same question will be repeated by 30-40 times. So on behalf of the student, a faculty can join and ask the doubts you are raising, or your students will be raising on behalf of them, where you are in the position not able to clear them in the ask me anything sessions. Sir.
So we have a dedicated AMA sessions for the faculty. There you can join and clarify your queries. So yeah.
And finally, the answer to your question is yes, sir. We strongly recommending that mentor college to join the live sessions, sir.
Sir, 2 hours per day. Is it in the daytime, like in the working hours, or in the evening?
The schedule will be released within the couple of days, and clearly the program plan, the detailed project plan will be released in the couple of days.
Sir, good afternoon, Dinesh garu. Sir, ఏదైనా ఒక కాంటాక్ట్ నెంబర్ ఇవ్వగలరా సార్? ఏదైనా ప్రాబ్లం వచ్చినప్పుడు.
దేనికి సార్?
ఈ రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ చేసినప్పుడు సార్ స్టూడెంట్స్
రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ చేసినప్పుడు ప్రాబ్లం ఏమొస్తుంది, ఏం రాదు కదా. LMS లో ఏమన్నా ఐఏసీ లో మీకు ఏమైనా ప్రాబ్లం ఉందా రిజిస్ట్రేషన్
లేదు
చేసినప్పుడు?
సార్, LMS ప్రాబ్లం ఏం లేదు సార్. ఈ స్మార్ట్ ఇంటర్న్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఏదైనా ఎర్రర్స్
అవును సార్, స్మార్ట్ ఇంటర్న్ చేసినప్పుడు ఇంకా చాలా టైం ఉంది. దానికి ఇస్తారు కాంటాక్ట్ నెంబర్. వాళ్ళు దే ఆర్ వర్కింగ్ అగ్రెసివ్లీ. ఒక్కొక్క యూనివర్సిటీకి ఒక్కొక్కరిని తీసుకున్నారు, ఒక్కొక్క 50-60 కాలేజెస్ కి ఒక్కొక్క కాంటాక్ట్ పెడుతున్నారు.
ఓకే
ఫస్ట్ మీరు అయిపోయిన తర్వాత వి విల్ ప్రొవైడ్ ద కాంటాక్ట్ నెంబర్స్ అండి. ఇట్స్ టూ ఎర్లీ కదా. క్లస్టర్స్ చేస్తున్నారు. ఒక 5,000 మెంబర్స్ ని, ఒక 3,000 మెంబర్స్ ఉన్న కాలేజెస్ క్లస్టర్స్ గా. ఫర్ ఎవ్రీ క్లస్టర్ దేర్ విల్ బి వన్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ కాంటాక్ట్ అండి. వన్స్ ద రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ ఆర్ క్లోజ్ అండ్ వీఆర్ స్టార్టింగ్ ద ట్రైనింగ్, వి విల్ రిలీవ్ ద క్లస్టర్స్ ట్రైనింగ్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ కాంటాక్ట్స్ అండి.
అంటే ఫస్ట్ అయితే ఇప్పుడు మన LMS లో పిల్లల్ని అయితే ఈ స్మార్ట్
ఐఏసీ లో అప్లై చేసేయమనండి అండి పిల్లల్ని. దానికి ఏ రోల్ కావాలో అది.
ఓకే సార్, ఓకే. ఇందులో సార్, ఇందులోను
LMS పోర్టల్ లో సార్.
LMS పోర్టల్. ఓకే సార్, ఓకే.
మేడం మీ వాయిస్ క్లారిటీ లేదు మేడం.